that will promote all of these things in the classroom and will give our classroom culture an even stronger bond together. Now, one quote that I found about culture, which ties into the social justice aspect, is that we need to understand the differences that students bring with them to school. Culture is one of these differences, and we define it as the following. Culture consists of the values, traditions, worldview, and social and political relationships created, shared, and transformed by a group of people bound together by a common history, geographic location, language, social class, religion, or other shared identity. Now, it's easy to think, oh, all my students are the same. They're all from the same little town. You know, they come to a rural school. We live in a small town. They're all the same, but they're not. They all come from different backgrounds. Some of them aren't from here. So there's many different, every single student has a different story to tell. And that is what we want to dive into. That's what we want to connect between their culture, their identity, and our material that we're teaching. Because when we do that, it becomes more important to the students. Everything we do in the classroom will become more important to the students. They will be critical thinkers. They will be asking questions. They will be so intrigued. They will want to ask questions. They will think beyond the scope of what we're doing. They are not zoned out. They're more engaged. So it also gives a voice to the voiceless. Meaning, I can put these students in groups, which is the next one, collaboration through group work. Those two tie together. And I can give them all different roles. They can all have an opportunity to be a leader. They can be, you know, the writer of the group, the recorder. They can do all these different roles in the group. And that can just change throughout the year, change throughout the week even. That gives them a sense of pride. That gives them a sense of identity in the classroom. They all feel like, oh, that's all equal. She does that every week. We all switch it up. So collaboration involves every student's thoughts and ideas. It lets every student say, hey, I thought this, I think that. We don't shut anyone out because we have a classroom culture put in place. Engagement. It enhances their engagement because students pay more attention, like I said. They are contributing now. And they're on task more. They want to do this stuff. They are intrigued with it. They want to ask the questions. They want to listen. They want to listen to their peers because, oh, I know about her. I want to know her story. I want to know where she's from. And not just that. Once you get past that, it's more personal level of social justice in the classroom. But now, each and every week, we have lesson plans. We have activities. We have authentic tasks that we do every week in our classrooms. Now, how can I make this more relatable for my students? Sometimes we forget about that. We're like, oh, we have to do it this way. But we don't. And it changes every year with every class. Or in our case, every period with every class. The classroom culture changes, and the material should change a little bit too. We should be asking different questions. We should be promoting them to ask questions to us and to share out their thoughts, concerns, feelings, and just contribute. So here is one. This is posted in a classroom, and it says, who are you? And here's the race, class, gender, age, ethnicity. Who are they? We want to know who they are. They will write something about what's your identity, who are you? You know, they all have their own story that they could write about. In every subject, we can make the material more relatable for our students. So, in this case, the collaboration, the engagement, all that will come along with this if we have a relatable material. Therefore, we are going to do an activity, and we're going to collaborate with each other and get in departments, groups. So if you're the math department, get in a group. If you're English department. And we are each going to have a poster board. I want to know the subject, each group is, the activity or the lesson that they think they're going to be teaching next week. One of the activities or lessons you're going to be teaching next week. And now think about, does this really engage my students? Does this really make them feel a sense of pride? Does this really make them think about their culture, their identity? Does it make them feel like they want to be here? If so, add to it. If not, let's create some ideas down here about what can we do? How can I change this lesson to promote this in the classroom?